guys, I'm Becky from Book Bite Reviews, and welcome to my magical August wrap-up. You guys, I am on the train, on my way back home from Hogwarts. The Newts are over. I'm a very proud Hufflepuff. Let's find out if I passed my Newts. So first we will obviously talk about the books that I read to take my Newt exams, and then after that we will talk about all the other books I decided to read this month because I was nuts. My very first exam was Care of Magical Creatures, and to get an A, which was to read a book that started with an A, I read After by Todd. Guys, hello Pepe. I have had some very, very conflicting internal feelings about this book. So when I decided to read this book, I went in full knowing that it was real bad. I expected to really hate this book and to just have a whole lot of fun ripping it apart, and that kind of happened. I will say this book is really bad. It is a very, very unhealthy relationship. The main character is really, really annoying. She drove me nuts. I wanted to create a drinking game for every time that she cried. She was the worst. But guys, I did originally say in the reading vlog where I read this that I was going to give this book 3 stars, that was the highest that I was willing to go because it was so bad, but I could not stop reading and I want to keep reading the rest of the series. So I said that a 3 was where I felt comfortable giving it because I did really enjoy the train wreck that happened in this book. But guys, after thinking more on it, I'm gonna give it 4 stars, guys. I don't know what I'm thinking, but I really, really enjoyed this book. It is so bad. Don't think that I'm telling you that this book is very well written or complex or healthy. It's awful, but I can't stop reading it. I want to start the rest of the books like right now. It was so bad that it was good. Like, it's like a trashy reality TV show. I love them. They're awful television, but I can't stop watching them. That's how this book is. And the more I think about it, I want to give it 4 stars just for entertainment value. It gets 4 stars because I just can't stop thinking about this book. I want to pick up the next ones. It's really, really bad, but it's so bad it's good. Like, if you go in knowing that this book is bad, I think you'll actually enjoy yourself if it doesn't get you very, very angry. For me, it got me angry, but I just like enjoyed the whole time. Like, it was just such a good time reading this book. So I am going to go ahead and give it 4 stars just because I couldn't stop, guys. I can't stop. Next, I had to read a book under 300 pages to receive an E in Care of Magical Creatures, and for that I chose The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. This graphic novel is so freaking cute. If you have not heard of this, I don't know where you've been because I feel like everyone has read this but me, but if you're like me and you still haven't picked it up, I did, so you're not like me anymore. But you should really pick this up. It is so freaking cute. This book includes so much inclusion and shows you about how important it is to respect other people and how everyone's job and role in the world is important. And there are these super cute tea dragons that they take care of, and I want a tea dragon so, so bad. There is going to be, I think it's a prequel book to this that is coming out very soon. I think either in September or October, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm so, so excited, and I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars. And for my final exam for Care of Magical Creatures, I had to read a book that has a bird on the cover, and for that I chose P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. Now I know you're probably wondering, Becky, where the heck is the bird on the cover? Well, I scoured this book so I could use it for this exam, and the bird is right there, guys. That is a picture of a bird on Laura Jean's wall. It counts. So this is the second book in the To All the Boys I Loved Before series. It was really, really good. I will say that if this was the only other book in the series, I would not have liked it so much because the way that it ends kind of ticked me off. I don't like the way that it ends, but I still really, really enjoyed the read, so I am giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really love the series a lot, and I cannot wait for the movie that comes out in January? February? I think February. There is a love triangle in this book, and I feel like it could have been handled so much better. I feel like this book doesn't give you a chance to pick the other person, and I really wish that it would have really been a struggle on who to pick. I feel like it's pretty obvious in this book of who to pick. And the way that it ends, I don't like it. This series was originally supposed to be a duology, so this would have been the last book. So I understand why it ends the way it does, because this would have been the final book. But now that it technically is a trilogy, what really should have happened is that Laura Jean not pick who she's going to be with until book 3. That would have like skyrocketed this book for me, because it would have been even better than it is. But I understand why it ended that way. I just felt like it was just like a little too cleanly wrapped up, but it makes sense. But I'm still a little salty, but it's still 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I had to take my charms exam, and that was to read a book with a gorgeous cover. And for that, I chose Finale by Stephanie Garber. This is the final book in the Caraval series, and guys, oh my god, this was so, so good. I cannot believe that the series is over. I will say that everything does get wrapped up in this book. It is really, really well done. It does leave room where we could get more books. Like, this could not be the end. I think this is the end of Scarlet and Donatella, but I think that there is a very high possibility of us getting a spin-off series following different characters. I can't tell you who those characters are, so if you want to know, just private message me and I will tell you who I think the spin-off characters will be if you really want to know, or if you have read it. But I will say that there's definitely an ending in this book, but it leaves enough room where we could get a spin-off really, really easily. Of course, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I cannot believe that it is over. And if you are deciding to reread the series or read it for the first time, I highly suggest that you pick up the audiobooks. I love the audios so freaking much, and I love listening to them while reading the books. It is such a great experience, and just the audiobooks are hands down great. So pick them up. Next, it was time to take my Defense Against the Dark Arts exam, and that was to read a book that is black under the dust jacket. For that, I chose The Wicked King by Holly Black. Everyone kept telling me when I didn't love The Cruel Prince to still pick up The Wicked King, which I still had every intention of, but they're like, pick up The Wicked King, it'll change everything, and you'll fall in love with the series. And you're freaking right, guys. You're totally freaking right. This book, oh my god, the things that happen, the ending, I still can't believe it. Like, I still think about it and I'm like, you asshole. The Cruel Prince got 4 out of 5 stars for me, but The Wicked King gets 5 out of 5 stars for me. This was so amazing. I am like, just like dying to get the next book, which comes out very, very soon. I cannot wait. I can't wait to pick it up because, this is so, so good. And if you did not know, there is a short story that follows Jude's sister that I recently just found out about, and I have a hold on it on Libby from my library because I need to read that short story. So just in case you didn't know, there is a short story. Go ahead and read it. Get your fill before The Queen of Nothing comes out. For History of Magic, I had to read a fantasy, and for that, I did the best thing I could have ever possibly done this year, and that was to reread Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you do not know, this is my all-time favorite series. I love these books so, so much, and I decided to go ahead and pick this up and reread it, and it was the best decision I ever made. This book still gets 5 out of 5 stars for me, which I was really scared that it wouldn't, now that it has been a considerable amount of time since it came out, but I absolutely loved it. I annotated the entire thing. It was just so good. Just perfection, you guys. If you have not read a Jennifer Armentrout book, please do. And if you don't know where to start with the Luck series because it is top notch. For potions, I had to read my friend's favorite book, and for that, I decided to pick my in real life Sarah's favorite book, and that was Slappy First by Megan McCafferty. Now, unfortunately, This book does not get 5 out of 5 stars from me. This book is getting 2 out of 5 stars from me. This book, I will say, was written a very long time ago, and that played a slight piece in why this book gets so low for me, and that is because there is a word that is used in here when referring to those who are gay that we do not use anymore, and every single time I saw it, I wanted to stop reading, but I stuck with it because I wanted to finish it for my exam. But the real reason that this is getting 2 out of 5 stars is just because this is not a book for me at all. I personally read upper YA. This is definitely targeted towards younger teens. It's definitely intended for like 13 to 15. And I am nowhere near that age. And it's also not what I like to read. I don't read juvenile fiction. I don't read tween books. I would like to try because I see a lot of people who like YA are enjoying some tween books recently. But I have yet, and I feel like I'm probably not going to like them. They're probably not going to fulfill me enough like a YA does, a nice, dark, older YA. This is super fluffy, super dramatic, and definitely targeted towards younger teens. I think the main character is 14 or 15. It's just like, I don't remember ever being this dramatic. And she's so whiny and so dramatic, and yeah, I really didn't like it. And it's not that it's written bad, it's just not my kind of book. I would never like this book. At least I don't think so. Actually, that's not true. I would have liked this book when I was this age. These were the YA books that were coming out when I was a teen, and that's why I didn't really read that much, to be honest. I didn't really start reading until I was an older teen and Twilight came out. That's when I started reading. That's when YA went dark and went a lot more brutal and honest and kind of adult. That is when I started reading. So I would have enjoyed this when I was younger, but now I do not. And I don't fault the book too much except for that word usage, but it was written a long time ago. It hasn't been rewritten since. It needs to be because that word needs to go. If you're interested, check it out. I definitely wouldn't tell people to not read it. I just wouldn't suggest that they do if they have the same interests as me. For my final Newt exam, it was for Transfiguration, and that exam required you to read a book with an LGBTQIA+ rep. And for that, I decided to read Kim Reaper, Volume 1, Grim Beginnings by Sarah Graley. This comic is so cute. I'm so excited that I decided to pick it up because I really loved my experience. In this book, we have a girl who has a major crush on another girl in her college class. That girl is a Grim Reaper. And through this book, we get to see the hijinks of what it means to be a Grim Reaper. It's super funny. It's super cute. I really loved how real and honest this graphic novel is. It definitely isn't a have a crush, fall in love, and just stick through it. Like, she tells her to just leave her alone, never talk to her again at one point. Like, it was really well done. I really enjoyed the tension. I really liked the part with the cats. I loved that part so much. This was super cute, and I am giving it 5 out of 5 stars. So guys, do you know what that means? I have completed all of my Newts, which means I can become a ministry worker. I am so proud of myself. I feel so good. I actually got my Newts done a week early. That was crazy. I'm so excited. And I just keep waving my wand around because I don't know what to do with myself. I am a ministry worker. I cannot wait to start my new career. Now I am just patiently waiting for my diploma from G. I'm pretty sure that she is posting her wrap up today, which means we can get our diploma today. Very excited. I will say that this readathon has been the most fun experience I've ever had. I've absolutely loved every single second of it. I don't normally enjoy very structured readathons, but this one, I don't know if it's because it's Harry Potter or because it's so easy to do and so customizable. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just G because she is a freaking queen. But I love this readathon so very much. It is now officially my favorite structured readathon to participate in. I'm going to participate every single time, every year. I know last year she did an extra credit at the end of the year. I'm really hoping she does it again because I just want to do more readathons with G. She is the best at it. I applaud her for her hard work on this because It is crazy the amount of work she put into this. She did it flawlessly. This was amazing. So now that I'm done kissing G's butt, let's go ahead and talk about all the other books I decided to read this month. As always, this portion will be in rating order, so it will go from DNFs to 5 stars. So the first book I decided to DNF, and that is Ferryman by Claire McFall. This book originally published in the UK. I believe that it published in Ireland first, and then I have heard that it just like blew up and was like the #1 book in the UK, and then it was the #1 ebook in China for like 2 years straight or something crazy. The movie rights have been bought for this book, and I was super excited when it finally published in the US. I wanted to get my hands on it. I couldn't wait, and I DNF'd it. I got 25% of the way through this book, and I just really wasn't loving it. It was a little boring. It reads kind of like a literature required reading kind of book, and I'm not about that whatsoever. I just wanted something that was like cute, fluffy, dark. I know those kind of contradict, but that's what I look for in a book. And this was just not it. It was a little too dull, way too slow paced, and yeah, I DNF'd it. I'm real sad. But at the same time, I don't know anybody who has read this book. All of my friends on Goodreads have either never heard of it or a couple have marked it to read, and that is it. So I was the first one to read it, and I didn't really like it. I really hope that you guys read it and you love it, because it just wasn't for me. Next up is my 4-star book of the month, and that was Lumberjanes Volume 1 by Noelle Stevenson and Grace Ellis. I decided to randomly pick up this book, and that was to complete a personal goal at the end of the month. I just wanted to get to this page count, which I will tell you at the end. So I decided to go ahead and pick up this book so that it would get me there, and it was really, really cute, you guys. I cannot wait to continue on with Lumberjanes. It was super duper inclusive in a way where it didn't stand out. It didn't make a big deal about how these different women dress. It didn't highlight different sexual orientations. It's just there to consume. And that is how it should be in every single book. It should not be something that you highlight or try to put in your book. It should just be there because that is how the world is. And I really, really loved it for that. But I also really loved it because of how cute it is. This book is so interesting. I know I only gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but it is the very first volume. And not a whole heck ton happens, no resolution happens, and I'm just very, very excited to continue on. So it's 4 out of 5 stars, but I have very high expectations for the rest of the series. For book club this month, it was to read The Selection by Kiera, and this book is getting 5 out of 5 stars for me. Now this one was a reread for me. I did just recently actually pick up a physical copy of it. I have not ever owned the books for some reason, even though this is one of my favorite series, and I did get the pleasure to annotate it, which I absolutely loved. I was a little scared with this one as well that it wouldn't meet up to my old thoughts, but I absolutely loved it. This series is amazing. Every single book club member loved it. Everybody is continuing on with the series, which like never happens. It is fantastic. If you have not picked up The Selection, please do. If you love it and you want to just talk about it, comment down below. Let's talk about it because I love the series so much. I'm planning on rereading the rest of it just because I just love it. What other reason do I need? Then after reading Obsidian, I decided, hey, since the second book in the spin-off series is coming out and there were a lot of things that I forgot from the original series, let's just go ahead and reread the whole thing from original series to the spin-off. So this month I read books 2, 3, and 1.5, and I gave them all 5 out of 5 stars. Now, books 2 and 3 I have read before, obviously, and they were just as amazing. Oh wait, actually I did not give them all 5 out of 5 stars. Book 2 is getting 4 out of 5 stars. I decided to go ahead and knock it down a star. Originally it did get 5 out of 5 stars, but then after rereading it, I remember that this was one of my least favorite books in the series, and I still didn't really like it when I reread it. So this one is getting 4 out of 5, and these two are getting 5 out of 5. Oblivion, which is book 1.5, is book 1 told entirely from Damon's point of view instead of Katie's. This one was the first time reading it, and it was really, really good. I definitely prefer the original one but this was amazing. And I am planning to finish up my reread by reading books 4 and 5, and then the first book in the spin-off series this month, which is September now. And then the final book that I read this month was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. You guys, it is all over. I cannot believe that I have read all of the Harry Potter books for the first time, finally. This was absolutely amazing. I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars, just like all the other books in the series. But now that I have finished it, the entire series, book 3 is still my #1 favorite book right now, but Deathly Hallows comes in right behind it. I absolutely loved this conclusion book. It was so well done. So many tears. I did not expect to cry so much because I knew everything that happened. So I really didn't expect to cry. But guys, I was bawling. This was absolutely fantastic. Please be sure to check out my reading vlog to hear all of my emotions. But it was just amazing. I can't believe it's over. And I definitely plan on rereading the series for the rest of my life. So guys, those are all 16 books that I read this month. That is an insane number of books to read in 1 month. I don't think I have read more books. I'd have to double check the numbers on number of books. But this month was the most pages read for this year, and probably the most pages I've read in many, many years. And that was over 5,000 pages. Now, some of you are probably like, I do that in a week. But for those of you who are like me that are like, what? Yeah, what? That is why I decided to go ahead and pick up Lumberjanes, because I was at, I think like 4,900 and something, where I had 75 pages left until I reached 5,000. So at work, I sat at my desk and read that comic because I just wanted to get there. And guys, I did it. And if you were paying attention to all the ratings, I only had 1 DNF, 1 2-star, 3 4-stars, and the rest were 5 stars. This was an amazing month for reading. I have never read so freaking much, and if I have, it's been many, many years since I was a teenager and didn't have school in the summer or a job so I could just sit and read. This was amazing. I absolutely love the Newts. I love these months. These are when I'm getting the most reading done. It was just an amazing month for reading. I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to just continue being a all-star reader. So guys, that is everything that I have for you. I need to go take a nap after my Newts. I'm hoping that September is a good month for reading because I feel like I just need to sleep and never pick up a book again. I'm also really, really excited for my September picks, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you loved it and you want to see more bookish content from me, please hit that subscription button. And if you want to be notified as soon as my videos go live here on YouTube, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.